We're going to start today's article with a very perfect description of the mountains in Taiwan. It says, Taiwan is full of remote places in the mountains to visit, and one of the most remote is the village of Smangus. Now, we've used this word remote a couple of times. It's really important for our story, so we should explain what it means. Remote, when something such as a town or a lake or some sort of place is remote, it is far away from the city or places with a lot of people. Of course, in Taiwan, the most remote places are going to be in the mountains or on the east coast where it's hard to travel. Here's an example sentence. Every summer, Gabe and his family stay in a remote cabin in the woods for 2 weeks.
Remote 这个形容词呢，就是偏僻的、偏远的。I think you have traveled to a lot of remote places in Taiwan, right?
I have been to a few. Usually when we go driving in the mountains, we stay on the main roads. So there will be a lot of people and travelers around on those roads. Sometimes we go on little farmers' roads, like roads to Aboriginal villages and stuff, but not very often because we don't want to run out of gas when we get too far away or something like that.
Yeah, do you like those places you went to?
Yeah, they're really interesting.
另外呢 ，remote 还有另外一个意思就是远端的，所以 a remote control 指的就是远端控制器，也就是遥控器的意思。不过呢 ，remote 也可以直接当作名词指遥控器。So what is this remote place in Taiwan all about?
Well, it's actually really interesting. This is one of the more interesting places I've heard about. Here it says, located in Hsinchu County, this Atayal village didn't install electricity until 1979. Wow. That was not that long ago. Yeah, that's just a few years before I was born. What did they do? They installed electricity. Install is a verb, and when you install something like equipment or a machine of some type, you put it somewhere that you can use it easily and connect it so that it is ready to be used. When you install electricity, you put up power lines and connect them to a main power supply. Now, when you install something like a water machine or a printer, you put it somewhere in your office or house and connect it to electricity so that it turns on. Here's an example sentence. Can you help me install the new photocopier? It's too heavy to do it on my own.
Install 这个动词呢是设置、安装。You can install a machine，安装机器；install a software，安装软体；and you can also install electricity，当然还可以安装电力。但是呢，文章提到的泰雅族村落到了1979年才安装电力。Where is this village? It's located in 新竹县。Locate 这个动词呢，代表的是坐落于、位于，用来表示地方的位置。同样还可以表达地方位置的动词有 stand、lie、sit， 还有 situate。那特别注意哦 ，locate 跟 situate 只能在被动态出现。For example, the village is located in 新竹。也就是 the village is situated in 新竹，两个句子都是被动态。那如果要换成 lie 或是 sit， 直接用主动态就可以了。我们可以说 the village lies or sits in 新竹。
Okay, so they didn't have electricity until 1979, but it wasn't even easy to get to Smangus back then either. Here it says, in fact, the road leading to the village wasn't paved until 1995. Now, that's even sooner back in the past. Yeah. I was almost a teenager back then.
Right.
All right. So we saw this phrase, lead to something. We use this phrase to say that one thing, like a door or a road or a path, goes to another thing or place, often at the other end of the door, path, or road. Now, a door with a picture of a woman on it will obviously lead to a bathroom for females, for example. Here's another example. This road leads to my grandmother's house, so turn here.
Lead to 后面加上地方，代表的是通向、通往某处。 All roads lead to Rome 这个谚语呢就在说条条大路通罗马啦。不過呢 lead to 後面如果加的是結果，那這個片語代表的是引發導致某結果發生的意思。For example, the long cold winter has led to more deaths of homeless people this year. 今年又長又冷的冬天呢，已經造成更多街友的死亡。
Okay, well, we also saw that the road leads to the village, but we learned another thing about the road. It wasn't paved until 1995. Pave is a verb, and when a road or another kind of surface is paved, it's covered with a hard substance, like stone, tar, or concrete. That makes it flat and smooth and easy to work on, or drive on in this case. Now, this is often done over softer surfaces like dirt or sand, and those aren't really easy to drive on, so we want to kind of pave them, make them stronger. Here's an example. This road needs to be paved again. It's full of huge holes.
Pave 这个动词呢，代表的是用砖、石块、水泥等等的材料铺设。那道路被铺设，我们就要用被动态 be paved。至于用什么铺设呢？后面必须要加上介系词 with， 再带出材料。For example, this road was paved with concrete. 这条路呢是用水泥铺设而成的。
One thing I've found interesting about Taiwan is that the government here does a really, really good job at keeping the roads paved well.
Yeah.
Now in Canada, that's not always the case. In Canada, the roads, they sometimes just get bigger and bigger holes until it's too dangerous to drive on them.
And the government is not going to pave it?
The government is supposed to. It just doesn't do as good a job as Taiwan does. So it's really nice when you're driving in the mountains in Taiwan. You can always expect the road to be in good condition.
But here in the article, we know that the road that leads to Smangas wasn't paved until 1995.
Right, but it is paved now. That's
Yeah.
a good thing. Okay, so there's some interesting things to see near Smangus. Here it says, Smangus is known for being home to a grove of giant cypress trees. Okay, we'll find out what it's known for in a second, but first, let's talk about the phrase be known for. Now, when you're known for something, you are famous or known by a lot of people for a particular reason, often because you have a special skill or characteristic. For example, Alishan is known for its delicious tea. In fact, I buy some tea every time I visit.
Really? Be known for something 代表的是以某原因而闻名。那因为 for 是个介系词啦，所以接在 for 后面的原因啊，必须要用名词或动名词才可以。What is Smangas known for? It's known for being home to a grove of giant cypress trees.
So these trees, they must be huge. All right, when you are home to something, be home to, this phrase, we use it to say that the area we're talking about includes something. Or the thing we're talking about here, the cypress trees, can be found in a certain area. This area we're talking about, Smangus in Hsinchu County. Here's another example. Australia is home to the world's only kangaroo and koala species.
Be home to something 是某物的所在地 Smangas 是一群大型红桧的所在地。
Now, one thing I know about groves of cypress trees is that they smell amazing.
And they're huge and old.
So that makes me want to visit Smangus even more. But let's find out more about these cypress trees. Here in the article it says, some of them are up to 2,700 years old. Now we can also say that as 2,700. Both are correct. Okay, so we saw the phrase up to something in that sentence. The phrase up to something is used to show that we're talking about any number until a certain point, but no numbers past that. Now in this case, the trees can be any age between 1 and 2,700 years old, but not older than that. Here's another example. You can keep this food in the fridge up to 3 days, but after that, you should throw it away.
Up to 这个片语代表高达、多达。Smangus 里面的红块有些高达2700岁，所以呢，人们又称这些红块为神木。Can you tell us more about these trees, Erin?
I could talk about trees all day, Elsie.
Wow.
I love trees. All right, well, these trees are pretty special. Here in the article, it says, it's rumored that villagers didn't find the trees until the 1990s. That's great too, because that means they get to grow and grow and grow without anyone cutting them down.
It's good.
Now, we saw the verb rumor in that sentence. Rumor is sometimes a noun, but here we used it as a verb. We said, it is rumored that. Now, when something is rumored to be true, people are saying that it's true, often in a secret way. However, that thing is not officially true, even though it might be believed by many people. Here's an example. It is rumored that the politician was murdered, but the police haven't said anything.
Rumor 在文章中呢是个动词，代表谣传、传闻。It's rumored that 后面的子句呢可以带出谣传的内容。那另外呢，刚刚 Erin 老师有提到啦 rumor 也可以当名词。名词的时候呢，它也是谣传，也是传闻。那我们可以说 rumor has that 后面也可以加上谣传的内容哦。所以代换回文章的句子，我们可以说 rumor has it that villagers didn't find the trees until the 1990s. 村民到了90年代才发现这些神木。But how did they find them?
Now, that's a great question to ask, Elsie, but the thing we should note is that it's rumored that they found the trees.
You are right.
So we don't officially know how they found them, but we do have a legend about it. Here in the article, it says, at that time, the tribe's chief dreamed that God whispered to him about a giant tree. Now, a tribe, this noun, is an important word for this article. A tribe is a group of people of the same race who share the same beliefs, customs, and languages. A tribe usually lives in one particular area and they're ruled by a leader. Now, there are several tribes in Taiwan, including the Atayal tribe, the Amis, and Paiwan tribes, and many others. Here's an example sentence. Joseph listened carefully as his grandmother talked about how their tribe had lived in the past.
Tribe 这个名词呢是部落、部族。我们有提到啊 ，Smangus 这个地方是泰雅族的部落。部落的首领在90年代的时候呢，梦到上帝偷偷告诉他关于神木的事情。That is really cool. It was God that wanted the leader to find the giant tree.
That's the legend, anyways. Okay, so what does the tribe's chief think that God said? Here it says, he said that the tree would bring them wealth.
Wow.
Okay, so hopefully if they find these trees, they go looking for them and they'll get a bit of money for their village. All right, let's find out what happened. Here it says, after finding the trees, the villagers asked the government to widen the road to Smangus. Now, a quick note about this verb widen. It means to make something wider. Before, the road was quite narrow. Maybe only one car could drive on it before. Now it's a bit wider. Though if you do drive there, you still need to be very careful on the road. It's quite far away from important things.
Yeah. And to widen something 代表的是 to make something wider， 也就是拓宽的意思。所以在找到神木之后呢，村民们就要政府 widen 拓宽到 Smangus 的道路。And what happened after the road had been widened?
Okay, well, here in the article it says, with the new road finished, tourists started to visit the village.
Wow, so the trees did bring them wealth.
Yeah, it brought them tourism. So that's great news. But here it also says, now Smangus has its own ecotourism with a nature walk to the cypress trees.
Tourism 是观光业，那 ecotourism 就是生态旅游 ，which means tourists go there to appreciate its natural beauty without hurting the environment.
More people should have ecotourism like that, in my opinion, but don't worry, it's not just a green place to visit. There are lots of cultural things to do too. Here it says, visitors learn the local history, practice a tile archery, and experience local ceremonies.
Wow, 所以游客可以 learn the local history，学习当地的历史，还可以 practice archery，练习射箭术，还有体验 local ceremonies. But what are ceremonies?
Good question. This noun ceremony is a special event that is used to celebrate an important occasion, often in a religion or in another social organization. Some examples, graduations, weddings, and funerals are all important ceremonies. Here's another one. This church holds a special ceremony every time a new baby is born.
Wow, ceremony 这个名词呢是仪式典礼，所以当地的仪式呢也是游客们可以体验的。They can experience the ceremonies there.
Exactly. Now, here in the article, we finish off by saying if you're looking to take a trip off the beaten path, then why not visit Smangus? A good question for one, a couple of things to talk about for another. This phrase, look to do something, when you're looking to do something, you're planning or expecting to do something in the future. For example, Gemma is looking to buy a used car. Do you know what she should do first?
Look to do something， 也就是期待、盼望做某事。如果你期待到偏远的地方旅行，何不拜访 Smangus 呢
？Now, before you can answer that question, you have to learn one more phrase, and that's off the beaten path. This is today's shortcut for you, and since it's right at the end, we'll be coming back for our For You chat right after it.